Teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. How exciting, we have a video that has actual content in it instead of just food noises and pauses. So I thought, why not? Let's take a look at it. It's rare we get content these days. Now, lest you get fooled by the massive amount of clickbaiting she was doing, this video is not in fact about the breakup of her and Salah, which is very much what she wanted you to think. Recently, she's been deleting some pictures of him from different social media and a few references here and there, and just kind of fueling the speculation about changes going on in Kuwait right now. We will talk a little bit more about that. Well, potentially anyway. I can't actually remember if she directly referenced it here. Now, I was actually making a video this weekend, and because I had missed quite a few and she'd kind of shuffled through the end stage of her usual cycle, I was collecting together clips and kind of interspersing myself and just really showing the modern cycle that she's on, which is similar to the classic one, but has, you know, the odd thing here and there. And given that she really does talk about, oh no, I've changed in this video, which, spoiler alert, she never has and probably never will. I originally gave up on that video just because I did it on Saturday and I've got like 2.5 of the parts still. It needs to have 4, but it was taking too long. It was 10 p.m. and I was like, does it really matter? But given how much she talks about it here, I might end up finishing those parts and just putting it together as a kind of companion piece to this one, just so you can directly see how there has actually been very, very little change for those who maybe dip in and out of her. Oh, dipping in and out of Chantal, that's a horrible thought. All right, be gone, mental images. So anyway, I've cut off a cameo. She does have a quick cold open here where she's cut it very precisely to look like she's saying, no, it's over. Again, about her and Salah. Again, it's not. Don't fall for it. She's just doing anything she can. I'd imagine her completely empty mukbangs are not particularly helping her views. But let's see what she has to say.
It's over. It's over with that person.
Yeah, definitely not Salah, you guys. How could you think that? I never said his name.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
So, I thought I would just do a talking video. I'm not eating in this video because I'm talking a lot
yeah, she doesn't talk a lot in her mukbangs because she doesn't have a lot to talk about in her mukbangs, despite the fact that her channel was going to be food only because screw us and she deserves privacy, which no one's ever said she doesn't, but she doesn't take advantage of, ever.
Because I'm full from supper still, so. I just wanted to kind of, I guess, answer in an official video some of your questions about why I'm choosing to do mukbangs, yada yada yada.
I think we can guess, but I also think you said you weren't going to talk about it, which in Chantal language actually means I'm going to talk about how I'm not going to talk about it, and then I'm going to talk about it anyway because I actually want to berate or lecture you guys.
And I don't want to address this during mukbangs. I just want mukbangs to be enjoying food and having fun and just lighthearted content.
You can do one or the other. You can enjoy the food, but there will be no fun.
Where I don't have to give anything of myself, share anything that, I've changed a lot. I know people refuse to believe that. And
it's not a belief, it's a fact. This isn't, oh, here's an opinion I have that you haven't changed. There are multiple examples of evidence on your channel showing you repeating the same behaviors.
And are looking for all kinds of evidence and,
we're not really looking, we've got.
Trying to counter that. But I have changed a lot.
No, you've put on more clothes. That is literally all you've done.
Mindset-wise with certain things. Some things remain the same, some things I'm still working on. But in the, I think it's safe to say after about almost 2 years of being different than what you're used to, a different Foodie Beauty, that this is going towards a newer lifestyle. And
well, this is really the point though. You claimed to be different, you went to a different place. The only major change she has made is a certain lack of public nudity, but her behaviors remain the way they always were. Her responses to the things we discuss about her remain the same as they always were. I mean, she has very recently got a whole video calling FFG a ghoul, saying, oh, Girl World is awful. She's been raging. She raged for days. There is a reason people find her predictable. So you can say you're different until you're blue in the face, or whatever color the filter would make your face in that case, but you're not different in any fundamental sense.
Life changes are not just one day you're different completely, okay? It's gradual.
Yeah, true.
And it's painful and it's hard.
This is the way you do it, or don't do it.
Adapting to a new lifestyle, and I've had to grieve a lot of things from my old lifestyle, sure, of course, but it doesn't mean that it's what was best for me. And
has anyone ever argued that her old lifestyle was best for her? I think we've argued, we the community, and I suppose reactors in general, have argued that Kuwait seems to be a poor lifestyle choice in a different way, and as entertainment is less entertaining. So there are some things in Canada that definitely were terrible for her, but her health, her lack of mobility, a lot of things that happen in Kuwait are worsening. So is it a different type of bad? Yes, I would say it is, but I wouldn't say either is good.
That's choices that I have the freedom to make in life.
Yes,
and
they are.
Nobody truly knows completely my life, my circumstances, my everything except for me, my feelings, okay, what's in my heart.
You're absolutely right, and I want to say that now because I don't want people to think that I'm here able to see into her head. But the thing is, she's never given herself enough recognition for being completely transparent. Because I think I've called her the puppet master before. She always thinks she's smarter than everyone in the room. And then she gets caught out, and that's part of the anger. It's that she gets so easily caught and she can't figure out why. And she figures, well, people must be obsessed looking at every detail. And some people are, but some lies are also just obvious. And where they're not obvious, they're repeated enough that they become obvious. We expect them now. And the thing is, we learned that faster than she learned how to change how she lies. Her behaviors are very much deep-seated behaviors, but she thinks that she's more subtle in them than she is. And from the outside, they're just more obvious.
And in my mind. So, and I want to protect those things from now on. So what I did say in my post about, not wanting to share intimate details of my life, you know, that's so different for you guys. And I know in a way, and I don't know what else other term to use, but a lot of you are grieving the old Foodie Beauty a lot.
I'm really not. You know why? Because she's not dead. Or at least not dead yet. It depends what your next meal is. But you're still here. There's no old Foodie and new Foodie. There's just Canadian Foodie and Kuwaiti Foodie. The change you think you've made is much smaller than you think it is. Canadian Foodie was just high all the time, and her relationship was very volatile. Now, Kuwaiti Foodie wears more clothes, certainly. Her relationship is also volatile, less so than kind of the abuse we saw with Nada, because I do think it was abusive. I think he's an abusive guy. I think she jumped into it with 2 feet, but that's not really the point. But would you say her relationship with Salah is not volatile? I mean, do we need to look at the Kybella incidents again? It's not like it's been smooth sailing. He is much more willing to toe that line and to toe the party line for her and present whatever she wants to present, because for whatever reason he signed up for this, and I don't think he meant her to find out about the videos and the photos and whatever. I think he would have just lived his double life over there, and she wouldn't have known. She would have been happy to ignore it. In fact, if she found out privately, like, she would have been happy to be like, okay, just, I never want to think about that again. And that attitude comes through here in different ways too. I don't want to think about that as an overarching idea of this video.
A lot of you miss that person because you keep going over my past and over things that affected me. And even though a lot of them don't affect me anymore, people still go over them as if it's not even affecting me and these things happen to me. It's just weird for me that people keep going over past.
But of course, it's still affecting you because you still talk about it. The nada stuff, not so much. She's actually been kind of better than I expected at keeping the nada stuff sort of away. And I think having Salah there has been helpful with that. But all of her behaviors are connected. So if she doesn't have A, she has B. It's the same behavior manifesting in a different way. And that's what we're seeing with the mukbangs, and that's what we see with the shisha, and that's what we see with the other things. But ultimately, it's the same drivers that are just directing differently.
Me, that's not there anymore and won't come back. I think people
such as
expect in a few months that I'm going to go back to Canada, that I'm going to go back to that old way. I'm going to rip off the hijab, and it's just going to be, let's get a wheelchair kind of thing.
I think that will happen. Although I don't think she'll let go of the hijab.
I've been to Canada 2 or 3 times.
Yes, you have. And before you use that as proof of change, because my God, darling, if this is anything, it is very much proof that you write your own stories in your head. Just remember what actually happened on those trips, okay? Take a moment, just refresh your recollections, because her version of this is not the version I remember.
Back and forth, because I've been, like I said, these changes of lifestyle, it's so drastic, and it's taken me time through this tug of war to feel like, okay, you know, do I want to go back to that lifestyle? So I thought, you know, going back to Canada, I missed certain things, but then it never happened. I never took the hijab off. I never reverted back to my old lifestyle.
So you never took the hijab off. I will give you that. But given that the hijab is meant to represent a dedication to a faith that you frequently don't seem to adhere to. And I'm not the Muslim police over here. I'm not even Muslim myself, okay? But you went back to Canada, you got caught buying weed, raged online about it, and then admitted it as a way to try and get ahead with it because you couldn't not admit it. So you admitted to going back to drugs, which were forbidden under your religion. You ate everything you wanted, and you did not go halal. You were saying, oh, I'm not really going to do much about that. And the things you were boycotting, oh, I've got gift cards, I'll go to Starbucks. You could have chosen not to use the gift cards. You could have chosen to gift the gift cards elsewhere and be like, okay, the money has already gone to Starbucks. I didn't pay for it, but I'm not comfortable using it. You didn't keep to any of your principles when you were in Canada. And I do believe she'll try and stay in Kuwait as long as she can. I think the security she has in that is questionable, particularly with the changes going on, because you never know what the next change will be. But, oh, I didn't change, I didn't take the hijab off. Well, you didn't adhere to any of the religious factors of what you supposedly believe in anyway. What does it matter if you were wearing a hijab or not?
Totally, you know, like, but I end up coming back here, and there's a lot of reasons, and I don't feel like...
Yeah, Salah wanted to pee on a prostitute, we remember.
I need to justify that to anybody, and I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to explain why I prefer to be here.
There is no explanation needed. We know why. And I also, even like putting a pin into Salah and to his preferences, she can't go back to Canada. She doesn't have the ability, the money, the background to be able to settle herself in Canada. Her finances are not in a good state, good enough state, I should say, for her to live independently. She can't get on a GP list, which she would need. And if there's anything that would force her back to Canada, it would be that. And if she had a modicum of sense, even though this wouldn't be legal, it'd be pretty hard to really follow it up. If she's kind of registered as living at her mum's address and her car is there and stuff, she should have just gotten on a list when she went to Canada last time and waited the time out while she was in Kuwait. I don't know if she did that or not. It doesn't really matter at this point, I suppose. Because I think her health will force her back at some point. Because I don't think she can afford to be as sick as she is in Kuwait indefinitely. And even if she could, I don't think the Kuwaiti government will allow it indefinitely. But she will hold on to that for as long as she can. And after she has to leave Kuwait. Now remember, she said she wasn't doing any trips until until the winter, but she bought a suitcase recently and her visa will run out. Did we say July? I think she came back very beginning of April. So all of April, all of May, all of June. We said beginning of July, right? So she's going on a trip in the next 20 to 22 days. And I think mukbangs are just a way for her to have pre-recorded content so that she can put a few up if she even bothers and get out of the country without having to explain it.
I mean, I think I have many times. I don't think that people listen. So it's like, for me, if I'm going to just be talking to a brick wall, I'm not going to bother. You know, there's just...
I think her problem is not that we're a brick wall. I think it's we're sponges. We absorb all the information and she doesn't like it.
So many people online that are so determined to misunderstand what I say and take a different meaning of it, and I just, you know...
gaslighting of that. You're so determined not to understand. No, I've got a basic rational mind and a little bit of knowledge about how these things work. I do understand. You may not want me to understand it that way, but I do understand.
Well, I'm just going to let people do that, and I'm just going to keep quiet and know...
Is this you keeping quiet?
...what my life is like.
Oh, I'll do a Chantal Marie scratch.
So there's things I grieve, obviously, about my old life, but again, it doesn't mean that it's what's best for me, and...
No one would argue Canada is good for you.
I'm still working on issues, sure, I have a lot to work on.
How would you be working on those right now? I would love an example of something active you're doing.
But that's not going to matter geographically. For me, like, wherever I go, there I am, that's true. And, you know, it's just... I'm not going to be that person anymore. It's over. It's over with that person.
That is not true. You are still that person. The way you can express that person, the addictions you can express it in, may be more limited in Kuwait than they are in Canada. It might go to food and smoking rather than drugs. You are very much exactly the same person. You might not jiggle it on camera anymore. You might not expose yourself for the views, but you make a fool of yourself in other ways. You just don't get paid as much for it now.
It's done, and I'm not going to be going back to that. So
If it were done, you wouldn't even need this video.
You know, I know a lot of people think this newer version of me is boring. It's not what you're used to.
No. Have a look over your content over the last week. It's exactly what we're used to.
My audience was mostly people who were, you know, there to watch me be completely silly, totally TMI, things that I would never want to talk about openly now, and things I would never in a million years do. And in a way, I'm grieving. I'm having trouble, like, accepting that I've exposed so much of myself in a way. You know, I'm trying to just realize that that's the past.
Okay, so 2 years on, how long does it take you to grieve that? Should you maybe get some professional help with it? It's okay to get professional help with grieving. It's not okay to sit here and whine about it and then give it as a reason that we're wrong about stuff when we can clearly see what's happening.
And it's done, and there's nothing I can do about it, right? But there's a lot I wish I didn't share with people, or that I didn't do.
But you did.
But there's a lot of things I don't regret either. So anyway, all this backstory to basically just say that, you know, I meant what I said in my post. I know I'm not the queen of consistency, and you guys expect me to change my mind. And
you're not the queen, you're not the princess, you're not the duchess. You are the wandering peasant of consistency.
Still expect me to go back and live in Canada and be different. But after a year and a half or more, almost 2 years, I think it's safe to say that a lot of chapters from that era are just done. It's over with. It's gone.
Chapter maybe.
I don't have the want to go back to a lot of that. That a lot of things I'm glad are done.
One thing that she doesn't seem to realize throughout the entirety of this video, and it seems life, is that it's not always about what she wants. What she wants is frequently irrelevant to what's actually happening.
And I want to evolve in life, and I want to see where things are going to go. I want to stick to my goals. I thought she was going to say morals, and I was going to say where. I want to travel so bad. Like, it's a yearning inside me that you don't understand.
Okay, That, I think, she is setting up for visa run, or in a potential understanding, which would be amazing, that visa run might go badly. Because remember, I know we've been talking about her getting kicked out. She is on a tourist visa. It's a legal visa. Should she be living where she is? We don't know, because we don't know exactly how they've set it up, or if he's even really living there long term. Because out of the two of them, it's Salah we don't know the details about. He might be in trouble with this right now. We don't know. Because what they're looking at the moment, what they're focusing on, is people who have come in and they've come in under one visa and they're working somewhere else, or they haven't transferred it, or it's expired. They want those people out. So that doesn't currently count Chantal. But if Salah works at the perfume company, but I realize he's not, reliable. But Allah said they worked together in some kind of store, like the tech department, something like that, based on what he was wearing. They used to work together. So if he had switched jobs like that, as a resident, which he is, he has a civil ID, as far as I know, he would have to switch his visa over if he was in there as a resident. So if he's gone back and forth and he's labeled as being at the perfume company, then he might need to change it, or the other jobs he's worked might not be reflected on his visa. There's a lot of things with the red tape that could be out of whack there. I'm not saying they are, I'm saying there's a lot of red tape in visas. So I think another thing, if I were her in her circumstance making her choices, which God forbid, I would be thinking, all right, if this goes wrong and I can't get back in, where will I go? So once I've got a burning, yearning, barbecue-scented want to travel, then you might look at cheaper places to live, like Malaysia, for example, is a good place to live that's very cheap. Thailand she's been to, but she could go back to. Like, there are places you can go to visit that are not expensive to live in that she could do. If she's doing tourist runs now, she can do tourist runs in another country. She can do that in Thailand. She can travel around, like, Asia, just staying 3 months at a time or whatever she wants. And she'd probably spend about as much as she spends now. So, it's really no big deal in that sense. So she has options to keep moving and not return to Canada if she leaves, which might be where this is coming from. Just, prepping us if she suddenly turns up somewhere else. She's so impulsive, you guys.
I think it's because, coming here and being here, living in a different culture, I want to experience a lot of cultures. I want to experience all that life has to offer.
The Kuwaiti government in about 20 days may give you the opportunity.
So so basically for the mukbangs, I guess it kind of reminds me of a time when my channel was more simple. Like, I had fun doing mukbangs in a lot of ways. I had fun telling you guys stories and stuff too. Even with an eating disorder, as a human being, we have to eat food. Mm-hmm. And I find whenever I go on diets, whenever I restrict food groups, whenever, I start to have negative feelings about food, and it causes guilt, and it just perpetuates the binge eating cycle. And with the mukbangs lately, I feel like I get to kind of have more of a routine. I wake up, I take my meds, I have the healthy drink, I eat whatever the heck I want from my mukbang, I eat whatever I want, and that satisfies a craving in me,
Oh, there's so much in that, isn't there? How do I put this? Okay. A negative feeling isn't going to kill you. The fact that you have to insulate yourself so much against the smallest negative feeling, God forbid you feel something, is concerning in and of itself, because the aim should always be to learn healthy mechanisms to deal with those feelings and what's causing those feelings, instead of stuffing food in your face. Secondly, you giving yourself permission to binge doesn't change that it's a binge. So if you're going to binge due to negativity or binge due to positivity, you're still going to do it. Isn't the point of going through those feelings like One is preventative. Oh, it makes me feel good. Well, yeah, you've been using it as a coping mechanism since you were in elementary school. And the only time you've ever come off it is when you switched to cocaine. Of course it feels good. I want my life to be simpler. I don't want to have to think of so many things. It's actually an understandable want. It very much is. But what she wants isn't the most important thing to life. It doesn't matter at the end of the day what she wants. The point is the situation she's actually in. So this ostrich style head in the sand moment when she's like, well, I'm just gonna eat. I'm just gonna choose to forget about it. I'm just gonna do what makes me happy, is gonna tip her straight into the grave. The only thing this decision is doing is making it a little sooner than later and making her a little happier before she starts praying to God again. Because she is scared when these things hit. That's why we get the turn in the cycle. She gets scared. But she got scared about her blood sugar. She showed up. She started taking her meds for 3 days. Her blood sugar dropped. And now she's like, oh, I don't need to be scared anymore. I can survive like this. So I'm just going to go back and binge everything I wanted again. Because a very simple explanation for that little community post where she was like, I don't want to talk about anything, could be a real classic before all this crap, before all the Kuwait stuff, before all the old life, new life crap, is that she's always done that when she's been on a diet and then she's binged and then she's like thrown her toys out the pram and be like, I'm not talking about it. Because she's embarrassed and she knows she's going to get negative backlash. Speaking of which, if it's an actual real comment and not a troll, did you guys see that Desert Rose, one of her more prominent beezers, just lost her shit in the comments and was like, nah, we done. Another one bites the dust. It doesn't matter if this is more fun. It doesn't matter that you want your life to be simpler. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And however overwhelming it feels, it has to be done. It's not something you can ignore. And this idea that her healthy drink is going to protect her from everything, I was shocked. Someone put the nutritional value up on Twitter. Like, it's got 3 grams of fiber in it. What's 3 grams of fiber going to do? I had a bowl of shreddies for my breakfast. That's got 4.8 per bowl. Does that mean I can eat anything I want? No. Is fiber good for you? Yes. But look at what you're doing to yourself. What do you think 3 grams of fiber is going to do against a big portion of chili cheese fries and 2 chicken burgers? It's not going to be a lot.
As a food addict in a way. And then I, can negotiate with myself, okay, I'm going to have this healthy later, blah, blah, blah. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, you're fooling yourself. It's a slippery slope.
Yes,
yada, yada. But over-restricting doesn't work either for me. You know what I mean? And in a way, it's worse. So
how is it worse? It results in you eating the food either way. Maybe you should have kept up with all the help you had access to. Wouldn't that have been a thought?
But these are what I'm doing right now. I don't want to do any more on my channel. I don't want to justify as a larger person with health problems. I don't want to justify to people, strangers, why I'm eating what I'm eating.
A, what are you doing now? It seems very much like you're trying to justify it. B, there's no actual justification. Not if you want to live. You can sit here and you can say very clearly, which I think is the actual case, I don't care enough about living and dying when I feel further away from imminent death because I like food more. And I will continue to like food more than anything else until I'm terrified. And then when I shape up for a few days and I feel a little bit less in danger and I've worsened all of my health conditions, but I can function again, I will go back to eating crap. Like, that is a Russian roulette. One of these times, you're not gonna come back from it.
Especially to a community of people who are also overweight, obese, and...
Yeah. God forbid people who are overweight might understand the thought process behind this.
Don't ever show themselves, but have a lot to say about what I'm eating, about my weight, yada yada.
I have a lot to say and I show myself. I know she's obsessed with FFG, and FFG is also obsessed with her. It's a two-way street, but FFG is not every person in the community. And Chantal's never understood. It's all for one and one for all with her.
It's a huge community of people who do that, and I don't want to justify my choices,
Here we are.
just because I'm a fat person online eating something that's not a salad. I don't want to do it.
No, you're a fat person, and I'm not saying that as an insult, I'm using your word, right? You're a fat person online who is crying online, telling us how scared you are, baiting us with, I'm going to listen to the doctor forever. I'm going to take my medicine. Look, guys, I've got this. And then you just got sick of it one day and were like, yeah, I don't want to. That's why you get the criticism.
What I do off camera with my life is totally up to me. It's my choices.
No one said otherwise.
You don't have to watch it.
If you're off camera, how can we watch it?
Eating videos are not for everybody at all. And so that's fine as well,
Yeah, you don't have the choice of pushing us away now. If we're here, for better or for worse, a lot of us are invested. And when we look at your choices, we just go, oh God, how does she choose the worst choice every time? How is that just not something she learns from? How much effort goes into not learning here? Monkeys can learn. Like, you can train animals. Chantal worked so hard to not better herself, even accidentally.
There is an audience for it, obviously. And no, not just feeders, because do you know how many mukbang channels there are? And if you go through those people's comments, there's not one sexual comment about feederism or whatever.
But then not everybody. When she got started and she was sitting there and like shoving it in her mouth, holding it in her mouth, and then letting like sauce drip down her chin, she was very much leaning into that area.
Dumb people are saying.
Yeah, dumb people. It's not like she's ever done anything to encourage it. It's not like she's ever like worked out in her underwear online. It's not like she's ever moaned over food. It's not like she's ever brought a disgusting but a sexuality nonetheless into her food. What are you talking about?
Just because it's a bigger person eating, it has to be a feeder. No, it's not. All right, people watch mukbangs for different reasons. It just makes you hungry.
I imagine there are times, because that was the original genesis of mukbangs. It was the idea of eating together when you lived alone. But the way Chantal does it has never made me hungry. It's made me regret food.
See the good food, especially if you can't eat it, or if you are eating, it's like a social thing, Like, I don't have to explain mukbangs. People know what they are. I've talked about this many times. Yeah. But
is it social when you're sitting there in silence because you literally can't think of something to talk about? Because you've banned anything that you might talk about from channel because you've got nothing else in your life? It's less social than you'd think.
That's why I'm doing them. Because for me, it's content that's fun. There's no drama.
There's a lot of drama.
I think drama is worse for my health than a cheeseburger at this point. Honestly, you underestimate how much that can affect your health.
Okay, so have you taken down that ghoul video? I've got a feeling if I check, you won't have.
People really don't realize that, and I don't want to have a dark energy online with that kind of drama.
Your dark energy, if we're going to call that, is internal. When it comes to online, there is a literal off switch. You don't want drama, you don't have to have drama. I don't want drama on my channel. I don't have it. I choose not to have it. And that just is what it is. It's all about how you react, how you respond, how you present. If I don't want drama, I don't engage with it. You could do the same.
And hatred and disliking and just like total negative vibes. Like, I just don't want it in my life.
Okay, tell me how garlic bread, the ghoul, what does she call Yabba? Scabba? I don't know what name she calls you. Sorry, darling.
Okay, so mukbangs. I built my channel on mukbangs. at first anyways, and I always ate to some degree on camera.
To some
And,
degree, to all
you know,
degrees.
I enjoy doing them, so that's that. That's why I want to do it. It's a type of content that, excuse me, doesn't involve me sharing my life, because I don't want to do that anymore. I want complete privacy. At first, when I was doing mukbangs in the past, I loved being an open book. I loved sharing everything.
Okay. She loved the attention, and she still loves attention, but I think this is just the setup for, no guys, I'm not talking about it when she disappears for 3 days over a border.
And now my feelings have changed about that. So
what happened to the position there?
Oh yeah, mukbangs. So that's why I do them. That's what I want to do. I want to do food content. Of course, when I travel, I'm gonna do travel vlogs, like regarding the food in the different countries. And on our couples channel,
countries, plural.
We're gonna do travel vlogs.
Oh, those were always wonderful.
And what else? Go out sometimes around here, show you different food places and stuff like that. And in between that, just mukbangs at home. That's basically just what I want to do right now. I don't want to come on here and explain why I'm eating a cheeseburger. I don't want to come on here and explain my weight loss or gain or whatever the heck.
Doesn't need explaining. We can see what's happening.
I gained half a kilo this week, guys. No, I don't want it. And I don't want to, also go balls to the wall and super strict on a diet and
lifestyle change. I don't want my blood sugar to come down, you guys. I don't want to make lifestyle changes. I just don't want to.
No, I don't want to do it. And just, I don't enjoy doing that content whatsoever. I don't.
Okay, you don't need to enjoy it. You don't need to do it. But just be aware that the next gurney you go on might be a literal one.
Yeah. Judge me all you want for that, but for me,
I'm judging.
There's just no way. There's just no way. No.
Ultimately, the food is more important. No, it's her life to lose. The food is more important.
No way. I don't enjoy it. It depresses me even more. It makes me feel like losing weight and getting healthy is like a punishment. It feels like a punishment when I do that.
Yeah, I mean, having a healthy life is a real punishment. Surviving past your mid-40s is just awful. She doesn't have to. She can live, as she's told us many times, her life exactly the way she wants. But if she's going to put it online, she can't avoid opinion about it. That's how it goes.
I mean, look at it this way. I want to just...
No, I will look at it the way I look at it. Thank you.
Back to learn how to be like a normal person. Like, look at someone like Salah. They don't have to count calories. They don't have to worry about, they just...
Yeah, you know why? Because their organs aren't failing. Sorry. I'm back. I'm calm. We're good.
They just listen to their normal hunger cues, I guess. I don't know.
But you don't have normal hunger cues, and it's okay that you don't. But you are very much at a point where choosing not to do this means your option is or death. There's no in between here. Those are the stark choices.
I know for someone like me, it's different. I have to reset and get there, whatever.
No reset. What's this idea you have? I just need to detox. Ma'am, your liver and kidneys are there. I realize they're struggling. But you have organs for that. Just follow the doctor. The way you said you were going to. The way you begged God for mercy for so that you could.
But... anyway, I don't even know why I'm going down that road.
I don't know either.
It makes it feel like a chore, a punishment. I don't want to do that. So.
All right. Well.
It's just, I've changed my mind.
Then it is what it is. But what you're actually talking about, this chore, this punishment, it's just work. It's hard work, but it's work for the benefit. Because she's not in a position where, okay, well, if I eat this, I might not fit my jeans. She's in a position where, well, if I eat this, I might end up in the ER with a failing kidney. My phone has just switched over to a new file. I don't know if I've lost a few seconds.
Yeah, I just don't want to do it. So.
All right, well.
I don't care if you judge me for that.
Okay,
for
I'll keep doing that
my
then.
life choices, whatever. It is
Okay.
what it is.
Your life choices to have, but also my choice to judge is my choice.
That's just how I'm happy, or just not.
Okay. Well, congratulations. You win because you get to make your own choices. Are you happy with that? I'll say it again. You win, Chantal. You win, Death. Congratulations.
I'm doing that, not dieting or whatever.
She doesn't want to do anything
that's
else.
all I guess I have
I
to say
didn't
about
need
it.
10 minutes of the video.
Um,
Although, God knows how long it is of my video, so...
I don't think that I'll ever want to go back to opening up about my life, because
She doesn't think she'll ever want to diet again. I'm translating for you.
I don't enjoy it anymore. Like, something has shifted inside me where I don't want to go back to Canada, rip off the hijab like people think I'm going to do. People still think...
She will sew that hijab to her head. She won't take it off until death. Not because she cares about the religious element, but because she likes to hide in it.
They're giving me time. In like a few months, she's going to be back in Canada, back to wheelchairs, back to shaving her head.
If she goes back to Canada, she will shave her head, she will take the wheelchair, she will be a mess, but she'll do it in a hijab.
To being a mess. It's
Will
not
just
going to
be
happen.
worse.
It's not. That's over. That time is over. That, like, it's just done. It's completely done. And I've been back and forth to Canada enough times now to know that that's not what I want. And I don't want to sit here justifying why.
Then stop.
But that's just, I'm a different person now.
No, you're not.
Foodie
But you
Beauty.
can still stop.
If you don't enjoy this new me, then you know what to do. Like,
Keep watching and say what I want. Yeah, I do know what to do.
I'm not going to be changing for anybody.
I've
Like,
never expected it of you, my darling. The only thing I have ever said about you is, wouldn't it be nice? It's so much better. I wish she wouldn't waste her life. I wish she would realize there were other choices. That's the only thing I've ever said about her.
this is my life. This is who I am now.
This
Take
is how
me or
you've
leave me.
always been.
That's up to you. But
This is how you've always been.
I'm not my past either. The past doesn't affect me anymore.
You are completely and utterly defined by your past, and you always will be, so long as you insist on repeating it.
Or why it's still, people are still obsessed with it, I don't know. But you have to get over it and accept that it's gone, because it's...
I don't have to do anything, my doll. Don't have to do anything except turn on my camera and give my thoughts. Because I can have an opinion. My opinions aren't facts, but I can have an opinion. And just as we can't make you do anything, you can't make us do anything.
It was my life. I lived it. And if I'm over it, it's weird that other people are still not.
Oh.
Like from years,
Life is hard.
like years ago. So,
Yeah, life is hard.
So that's it. Mukbangs are valuable entertainment for people who enjoy them.
I have a feeling that number is diminishing, but I would say they are valueless entertainment for those who enjoy them.
I enjoy them. I didn't really used to love them, but I always did watch them. But now I start to love them, because it's just like...
Because you can eat again?
You know, it's
always
just drama free. And...
Are they now?
I don't know.
I actually get the appeal of something mindless. Like, I was talking to a lot of my friends, and as we come to the end of our last week, like, my friend, the music teacher, was like, I just go home and watch Vampire Diaries. Because it's mindless, and you can just sit there and decompress. That I get. That is valid to me. But, yeah, the rest, you're free to make any choice, no matter how bad, and I am free to comment on it.
I just like drama-free content, honestly.
Okay, maybe stop making drama about your content.
But I don't like doing certain things. Like, for me, I love food. Like, despite this is a huge, important point. Despite being a food addict, despite having, I think to a degree we're all addicted to some kind of food, especially if you like junk food and you eat it every day.
Yeah, because everyone is foodie and foodie is everyone. She's just more honest about it, you guys. She's addicted to junk food. She's not out here binging broccoli, right? She's addicted to junk food. It's okay to, it's not okay for your body, but it's okay to say that. It's okay to need treatment, okay to need guidance for that. I'm not blaming her for that. but the minimizing she's doing is not helping her and will never help her.
Try stopping it cold turkey. It's hard.
Never said it wasn't hard.
With the binge
I said
eating
you're
and
gonna
all
die.
that, I actually haven't been binge eating, so
Really?
something is working, okay?
No, because the 2 cheeseburger and mountain of chili cheese fries, that was just a meal. As long as she doesn't define it as a binge in her head, it doesn't count. And that's not the way calories in your organs work.
So I don't know if it's that, I know that I get to eat something I'm craving. I don't have that stress of thinking, of restricting, like, oh no, I can't eat this ever again kind of thing. I don't know what it is, but
Well, I don't know why you're confused. You've always wanted to do what you want, and now you get to tell everyone, screw off, I'm going to eat what I want. You're getting exactly what you want. That's as simple as it is. Until you get scared.
Yeah, I still need to eat, and even though I had binge eating disorder, I also love food, and I'm very interested in the cultural side of food. I'm also interested in like learning about different food, about trying different food.
Okay, so where are your cooking vlogs? Learning about different food, why aren't you making some of the local food? If you were interested, if it was a hobby, it wouldn't matter that the food is cheaper outside. You'd want to learn to make it. You haven't shown us that.
And I love the pleasure that food brings, like good food, I love food. I'm a foodie in that I am passionate about food. I love food, People always say, well, how did you know to just cook things? Because I love food. And so
what things have you cooked recently? I'd like to hear.
If you love something, I'm not like a...
Didn't you just put out a grocery haul saying of a Kuwaiti housewife who doesn't cook?
I don't even measure my spices or anything, so I'm not like a cook or a chef. I don't claim to be. But I can make myself something good if I want to, something tasty. And that's... I love food. I am a foodie and a beauty.
No. I will not argue either of those points for the sake of, well, I was going to say brevity, but we're at nearly an hour.
I know that makes people mad.
No, you don't. Of all the things you say in this video, the smug I enjoy making you mad over that. No, I've accepted what you think of yourself long ago. You get to think it. It's your body. You get to like it. But I can think your choices are terrible without it being an emotional problem.
So I just really love food, and so a big part of me wants to just...
To eat all of it?
Get more into food.
Or get more food into her.
And hoping that somehow that will also mend my bad relationship with food. So...
That's stupid. I very rarely... Well, I try not to outright call her stupid. I'm sure I have a time or two. You know what this is giving me feelings about, aside from everything? Do you remember a while back, if you've been with us for a while, she once did a Taco Bell mukbang, and she came online right after she said she was going to stop mukbanging, she was going to diet. And she was like, you know what? Nobody does fast food diets, but I'm going to try, and hopefully it will be great. And I remember at the time being like, there is a reason people don't do that. And why would you hope it would be fine when clearly, thus far, it hasn't been fine? What magic ingredient are you adding to this to completely change the outcome? And that's what this feels like. She's like, yeah, it's always been a terrible idea in the past, but having changed now nothing, I think it's going to be okay.
We will see, but
will we now?
Justifying myself and my...
Okay, I would love to see it. Show me. I'd love to see it.
Opening up about my health. And I know it's totally my fault, but do you know how annoying
it is? It doesn't matter that it's your fault. It's too late.
Carb hate. Just, I don't know, just like some of the comments are so annoying, and some of... I don't know, I just can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Like, bear in mind that about 6 comments on every given video get through. You could stop reading the comments. You could turn them off. She's done it before.
So, I'm totally done with that. I know I say that all the time.
Yeah, you do.
But trust me, this is going to stick.
I do not trust you, and you are made of Teflon. Nothing sticks.
You're not going to see another diet video from me.
All right, timestamp it. What are we on? 2025.
you know? Like, it's
God,
not
2025
there's
and
not
this is
going to
an
be
hour
any
long.
diet videos.
All right, we'll see.
Or my health, whatever. That's my personal business. I don't know why I ever decided to share some things, like
Because you thought the reading was going to be lower. That's the most recent reason.
like my blood sugar and stuff. So stupid.
It was.
Honestly. So, but that's it for me. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Any of those personal things. And this is just like a formal video, I guess, cementing that for you guys and answering kind of why I wanted to go back to mukbangs. Because
you always
people
do.
forget that I built my channel on mukbangs.
They don't forget. They just realize your life and health should be worth more to you at this point.
I did start doing, you know, weight loss content after that and all
Yes,
that stuff.
did.
It's a very eclectic channel, so it has different audience.
Eclectic. It's the same circles. We just spin them round. Yeah, we had the fake vegan cycle. We had the keto cycle. We had the My 400 Pound Life. We had the juicing. We had the ghost diet. We had the high vibrational foods. We had lots of diets.
When I start doing weight loss stuff, the weight loss audience comes out and says, yay. And the mukbang people say boo, you know? And
yeah, and she cultivated her channel that way. Because every time she started losing subscribers, she had a new health arc. She'd pull in an audience thinking they could support her, and then basically spit on that audience and then wonder why people didn't like it.
And it's like vice versa every time I change my mind. But I want to be consistent, and I think that, you know, I just want to just do that content for now.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
Bets on how long this is going to last. Down in the comments.
That's going to be my content.
I'm quite shocked
channel,
that I haven't already seen a blood test.
That's about it.
Okay.
So yeah, if you don't like watching people eat, you don't like eating noises, I have no idea why you would watch my videos.
Well, that's up to me, isn't it?
My mukbang videos, but that's how it's going to be. So.
Yep. Well, me watching it is how it's going to be.
Thanks for listening to me again. I know a lot of people miss the old Foodie Beauty.
You're still her.
Excuse me, but that's gone. It's just gone.
Staring me in the face.
You know, I'm 40 now. Like, I'm not going to be...
I'm 41. So what?
Doing any of the things that I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just feel different about things now. I don't have that same energy either.
Yeah, it's the lack of Coke.
It doesn't bug me that people think my content's boring. It doesn't.
Then don't mention it.
Some people, you know, some people don't. Some people do, whatever. I guess that's it. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. And that is where we are. If I can get all the clips together and get the stuff together, then I may finish her latest cycle so you can see it in action to compare with how much she says she's changed. Whether I get that done or not, I'm not entirely sure. It might be tomorrow. But yeah, I should probably get this edited because it's quite long. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.